Hello folks, Jeffrey Darty, the Christian Whistleblower. Welcome back to the channel. So I'm just on the Drudge Report, paying my, just actually not doing anything. Just looking and just enjoying and trying to get a little bit of news. And all of a sudden I look and I see, I hope they didn't take it off already. Look at this. I'm looking on Drudge Report and I see this. Pesticides in food may damage the brain. I'm like, what? As you go over the Telegraph in London, and this is as mainstream as it gets. This is just like the Washington Post or the New York Times. It's the main paper of record over there in Britain. And here they are saying that organic foods backed by landmark report. Warning, pesticides far more dangerous than was thought. Of course, we know this. But to have a major mainstream media outlet saying this, look at that. Organic foods backed by landmark report. Warning, pesticides far more dangerous than was thought. And listen to this. Consumers should consider going organic. Consumers should consider going organic. This is the mainstream media. Because pesticides on foods are far more dangerous than was thought, causing damage to the human brain, a major study suggests. Amazing to me. The mainstream media to say, go organic, pesticides, far more dangerous, damage to the human brain. Well, no, beep. We knew that that was a problem. We knew that that was a difficulty. And it goes on. The European Parliament is warning of the very high costs of exposure to the current level of pesticides, especially for children and pregnant women. And I'm like, how can they be admitting this? How can this be? This is great news, but then you read this. Is this the real emphasis of the whole thing? Is this the real reason for it? It could result in new limits on pesticide levels, or sometimes the smallest word is the biggest one, or changes to labeling of foodstuffs under EU laws, which require the UK to review its policies by next year. Is it a chance to actually go against the people that are producing organic foods by exposing them to more labeling limits and laws to price them out of the marketplace? The landmark study suggests that the damage caused by pesticides across the EU, which is the European Union, results in about 125 billion pounds a year. And I think you multiply by about 3. So you're talking about, wow, 125 billion times 3 to get to dollars. What is that, 5, 7? That's $500 million, right? One part of me says, great, they're finally recognizing it. Organic foods, you should eat them. Pesticides are far more dangerous than was thought. But then, this really bothers me. It could result in new legislation, the labeling of foodstuffs. Does that mean more inspection for the few organic farmers that they allow to exist? Does that mean more regulation for the few organic farmers that are allowed to exist? Does that mean more people producing raw milk? I don't drink milk, and milk is for babies. But I understand what people are talking about, people gathering rainwater. Is it just a front to are they faking it? Oh, we're all worried. Maybe you should have organic foods. Pesticides are bad. Oh, by the way, we're going to let the government, who's doing such a bang-up job under the current system, we're going to put the government in charge of it. What you need to do while you still can is go to organic produce outlets and buy your produce. Better yet, go to community farms, go to farmers if you know those that are if you're in a place where they have farms. Or I'm in Clearwater, Florida, not a rural area, but we do have community farms, and we do have, fortunately for me, right out by at the end of my street is an organic produce stand, which is, I mean, it's not like a little one, it's a big one. So I don't eat anything that's not organic, but certainly support your local organic farmer. And don't go to Publix, Piggly Wiggly, Albertsons, Super Food, Super Duper, whatever that one's called, out there in uh, Denver and whatnot. Don't go to those places if you can help it. Support your local growers. And yes, be happy that they're identifying and backing up organic foods, but keep your eye out because it looks like it could be just a setup so they can get in and start taking over more of the local farmers. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. Just wanted to pass that along to you. Put it in your mental file and keep things that are important there so you can deal with it if and when you have to. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower, helping you unwind your mind and unindoctrinate yourself.